Campaign 2018, President Trump back in the state of Florida for the second time this week, stumping in Pensacola for gubernatorial nominee Ron DeSantis and Governor Rick Scott, who is running to replace Bill Nelson in the Senate. And in this final weekend of campaigning, there are now just 3 days to go until Election Day. CBS 4's Ty Russell is outside Miami-Dade election headquarters in Doral with more on the candidates' final campaign push.
Close to 4.5 million people have already voted in Florida, and with days to go until Election Day, candidates are now getting help from celebrities and the president. Days before the midterm elections, President Trump was back in Florida. It was his second visit within a week.
In just 3 days, the people of Florida are going to elect Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis.
The president urged a crowd of thousands to stand behind Governor Rick Scott for Senate and Ron DeSantis for governor. Polls show both candidates are neck and neck against their opponents.
In Rick's case, he's going against somebody that's falling asleep. And in Ron's case, he's going against somebody that's got a lot of energy, but he runs one of the worst, one of the biggest problem cities anywhere in the country.
Scott is depending on Trump's base and hoping they'll push him over the edge.
Over here with Bill Nelson, he wants to grow Washington. What we want to do is grow our economy, not the Washington economy.
DeSantis, who is a strong Trump supporter, wants a win similar to the primary from the help of Trump's base.
With me as governor, we will not raise taxes and we will never have an income tax. I'll protect Florida's communities by standing with the men and women of law enforcement.
Democrat Andrew Gillum was making his way around the state and talked about political rhetoric.
The president, Mr. DeSantis, others around the country, we used to be able to disagree principally on the issues. And quite frankly, in this race, there are enough issues under which we can disagree. But the fact that that kind of rhetoric and disagreement is not leading to political violence, in my opinion, is unacceptable.
And while at a campaign event hosted by musician Jimmy Buffett, Senator Nelson joined Gillum. And even though a record number of people have already voted, the president wants those in this crowd who have not
to get your family, get your friends, get your neighbors, get your co-workers, and go out and vote Republican.
Voters in Miami-Dade and Broward counties will have until tomorrow for in-person early voting. As for Monroe County, it ended today. We are in Doral. I'm Ty Russell, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Thank you, Ty. And today's early voting numbers show well over 4 million people statewide have already cast their ballots, with Democrats trailing Republican votes by nearly 60,000. Here is what South Florida totals look like so far. In Broward, more than 374,000 people voted by mail or in person, nearly 458,000 in Miami-Dade, and just over 20,000 in Monroe County. People in Miami-Dade getting some encouragement to cast their votes early today. DJ Khaled and March for Our Lives headlining a 2-hour concert on the North Campus of Miami-Dade College. Other artists and acts join them, performing just steps away from an early voting location on campus. And join us tomorrow as we count down to Election Day. Start your day with CBS 4 this morning at 7 a.m., followed by a live edition of Facing South Florida with Jim DeFeeti, and then join myself and Elliot Rodriguez for a special edition of CBS 4 News at 5:30. CBS 4 News returns at 6:30 and again at 11.